second. I had three choices in front of me. Any would clear my path to safety, and all would have rippling consequences. My hands were shaking and my arms could barely grip the rope, but with the last of my strength, I climbed out of the well and headed back to the castle. Ever since the magic mirror returned, its reflections have warned the kingdom of danger, kept our family safe, and it has exposed many troublesome crumbs tangled in my beard.
Yeah. King Edward was so proud that you returned his lost treasure that he made you king. Everyone knows that part. Now, can we get back to that dragon?
Gwendolyn, there is so much more to my stories than dragons. I hope this old cap will be remembered for far more than the action tattered across its brim, sewn into the seams of many hidden adventures. All right, let's get back to the dragon.
Tell me everything. Where can I learn to shoot like that?
A good mentor and practice. This wasn't the first time I went eye to eye with that hideous beast, and while that shot was certainly in self-defense, that arrow was a bit vengeful, I'm afraid, but let's continue that story in the daytime. It's about to get a tad more scary.
Dragons don't scare me, even those with all their eyes. If I ever come across that dragon, I'll finish him off for you. And I'll be known throughout Daventry as Gwendolyn the Brave.
That's quite a bold plan, one that requires a steadfast gut and a deft hand.
All right, you two. Grandpa needs to rest. Gwendolyn, it's way past your bedtime.
Sleep well, Grandpa. I'll be back first thing in the morning.
I don't need rest. I'm as spry as I've ever been, though I wouldn't mind a slice of magic fruit.
Well, hello, cousin. I'm glad you're finally here. He's been asking about you for days. I had to sit through the same story 5 times.
We got here as fast as we could, and I like Grandpa's stories, especially the ones with dragons.
Ah, yes, the legendary beast he went eye to eye with. I don't know if he forgets I've heard that story before, or if he doesn't care, but he loves telling it to anyone that will listen. I'm pretty sure I heard the nursemaids telling his same jokes in the hall.
Have you heard anything the doctors are saying?
Yes, doctors, wizards, magic elves. Grandfather is fine, Gwendolyn. They all say the same thing. He's just old. He still has a few good years left. Look, we're all excited that your family made the trip, but there's no need to worry. You should get some rest. I'm sure you're scheduled for a full morning of Grandfather's hilarious ramblings.
Oh, I'm also scheduled for the tournament tomorrow.
Ah, yes, the fencing tournament. You'll love it. I'm, of course, favored to win, and will make sure you have the very best seat to view my victory. The courtyard will be filled with important people and delicious hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, I'm actually competing in the tournament.
I had no idea we were hosting a junior tournament. That's incredible. In that case, I will gladly be there to cheer you on and eat delectable appetizers.
Nope, no junior tournament. I'll be squaring off against you.
I see. Well, perhaps this is the time to stop listening to stories and finally make some of your own. Good night, Gwendolyn. Sleep well.
Come in, Gwendolyn. You can set those on the nightstand.
Grandma said to take 3 spoonfuls of each.
I'll get to those. No need to fuss over me. Now, let's talk about far more important issues, like that fencing tournament. I hear you're competing.
Well, I signed up, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Nonsense. If it's Scott you're worried about, he's no bother. After all, I only learned that you entered after he complained about it all morning. Threatened, I'm guessing. There are many ways to win a duel. I, for one, have always been fond of... treating my opponents with respect. You'll be surprised what opens up to you. A lovely fellow once told me the fastest way to anyone's heart is through their stomach. Speaking of, that reminds me of a story, one I know you haven't heard before. When I was a much younger lad, before I was a knight, before I'd been to Daventry, and even before I had seen a dragon. It's a tale about a tournament that changed my life. It is a long story, but I shall tell it briefly.
Well, Triumph, this looks as good a place as any to camp for the night. Let's rest up. We have a big day.
After gracefully rappelling down the cliff, I welcomed the sight of an actual road, the first sign of civilization.
Grandpa, you can't leave Triumph.
Don't worry, Triumph can fend for himself. We've been through our share of sticky situations, but he always comes around when I need him most. After all that graceful rappelling, I was certainly not headed back that way. Daventry was just a few miles to the east. I'd read all about its wonders in my travel books. I couldn't wait to check out its famous, fantastical floating island. I could have sworn the parade of hopeful knights was scheduled for the next day. I should have been with them, marching with triumph. It seemed my first few minutes in Daventry were off to a terrible start.
So, how did you catch up with them?
Strange tracks blazed a trail through the forest. I wondered what those birds needed a toolbox for. Shame. The only tool left seemed to be a small hatchet. And no, Gwendolyn, before you start asking me thousands of questions about that hatchet, I did not go around using it on everything. There was no reason to chop down that perfectly good tree. That wheel seemed freshly broken.
Stand back, you dirty thieves! Wah! Oh, it's just a boy. Don't know where he's from, but it must be hard to pronounce. You know, you should never sneak up on a guy in a dangerous place like... Oh! What's wrong with your foot? Probably stepped on a spiniferous thornweed. Don't worry, I got just the fix for that. Tell me, is it more of a... Ow! Or a... Oh! Either way, the Merchant of Miracles has got you covered. But it'll cost you. I've risked my neck to forage the most rare, miraculous, mysterious, and oftentimes delicious ingredients. Ah, here it is. I massage this into my skin twice a day, and just look at my little biscuits. Well, now that I've mulled it over, you'd better not. It might stunt your growth. Ooh, such exquisite material.
Hey.
I knew you weren't from around here. Well, you best get going. Nobody likes a late night. Oh, wait, you're stuck here with me. Every bridge in is out, and my shortcut had a few shortcomings. I swear that rock leaped straight out of the water. Now I'm stuck here with no wheel, a lost toolbox, and Mr. Fancy Cakes. Say, I'll bet a fine, strapping young man like you could help me fix up this wheel. Yup, you help me fix my chariot, and I'll give you a lift to the tournament. Hopefully no one else notices your horrible lack of punctuality. Oh, how rude. Do you have any questions for me?
Nope. Oh, can I pet your goats?
Stay away from my majestic unicorns.
Unicorns? Isn't that a bit of string right there?
I said back away. Seriously, my boy, they aren't gonna pull this chariot without a wheel. I know. They're the most majestic creatures in the world. Mr. Fancy Cakes, I saw that look in your eye. Don't you dare touch my unicorns! They're for looking only.
What? Huh? Huh? How did I get onto this? We are not supposed to be in this part of the story yet.
Where did that river lead to?
That is a story for another day. That missing wheel had me stumped. I had to go out on a limb to get past the root of the problem.
Ugh. Grandpa, your infamous puns are not my favorite.
What's the matter? You don't like the timbre of my voice? You'll warm up to the puns.
These are terrible.
Here, kitty, kitty. Not a kitty, not a kitty!
Oh, here we go. No, I did not use the hatchet to skin that growling animal. Oh, here we go. No, I did not use the hatchet to skin that growling animal. I tried to chop down those thorn weeds, but my tiny hatchet was ineffective. I would need a bigger, sharper blade.
And then you chopped down that door, found a wheel, and headed for the tournament.
No, Gwendolyn. Just because I had a hatchet didn't mean I went around using it on everything. It's not that type of story. The town square was eerily quiet. Was I the only person in Daventry not at the parade? bakery. And it smelled delectable goods looked tasty, but I couldn't compete in this tournament with a full stomach. That sign was asking for tips, and there was a metal pan to collect coins. Ah, I didn't see any reason why that stale bread wouldn't work for a wheel. I stumbled upon some kind of curiosity. Against the knickknacks was a little collection tray with a sign asking for tips. Nothing seemed to be brewing yet. I thought these potions, herbs, and other magical sundries were best observed from afar. I didn't need to borrow more than one wheel. I didn't need to borrow more than one wheel. I could barely make out the names of these potions. While I was up for adventure, I didn't think randomly drinking potions was a good plan.